I have got my orange sunglasses to show that I'm jazzy and excited.
It's impressionism. I won't forget it anytime soon.
You can poke it into his tummy button.
There's literally 3 roads on the island.
We're now on a full-on pine forest.
An ancient archaeological holiday camp.
One of the highlights of the parade is the competition for the most beautiful horse. On the map, it is called the Grand Canyon.
And the famous one is just all red dust, right?
We're in the South Pacific. What's going on? Last time on Red Seas, we sailed to a beautiful bay on Nuku Hiva in the Marquesas Islands in French Polynesia. We squeezed through the narrow entrance in the reef to find a protected anchorage and got straight to work replacing our old ripped stack pack. We lifted the mainsail and did the whole job at anchor, and now Indy is looking shiny new with the right name on display and everything. In true Red Seas style, we hiked to a nearby waterfall, but we made sure we got lost in the rainforest first. It was like wandering through Jurassic Park with the stunning views of the cliffs, and now we can't wait to explore the rest of the island. But before we do, there are only 7 days left for you to vote in the International Cruisers Awards. We've been nominated for the Best Emerging YouTube Channel, and we've been amazed at how many of you have already voted to support us. We're in with a really good chance to win, so make sure you visit red-seas.com/vote before October 1st, because every vote counts. We are up bright and early this morning. I haven't totally woken up yet, but our timing here in Nuku Hiva is amazing because this whole month is a massive celebration, a huge festival that lasts 30 days or something. But today, the day right in the middle, is basically their Independence Day. So we've heard there's like some events, some, I don't know, parades and stuff. Here, it's a really small town, so we're not expecting, like Grenada Carnival level, but we figured we will go and find out. I have got my orange sunglasses to show that I'm jazzy and excited. Just trying to work out how to get out. I think I'm going to have to climb through this one to reach the ladder.
This is the glamour of arriving to a festival.
Can you bring my shoes? Read it. Which way are you going?
I'm going to go this way. Is that enough of a grip?
Yeah. Got a hand?
No, I got this.
All right.
I used to be a competitive rock climber, don't you?
Oh, you didn't even land in the puddle. Well done. So we can already hear music and stuff coming from the main street. And there is a guy announcing what's happening. So we might actually figure out, except half of it is in Marquesa language. And we've learned 2 words of that so far.
We actually, kahuha. That's all we got, which is hi. After that, we don't have a sentence.
Yeah, we did learn thank you, but I've forgotten it already. And then the rest is in French. So yeah, we're going to do our best, but it might just be too loud for us to tell you what's going on. So
the medium of sign.
Interpretive dance. Get ready for this, guys.
Direction de la santé! Oui! Restitution de la santé! Oui! Hôpital Louis Roland! Oui! Oui! Oui!
不一定会不，包不例外，包不例外大众。
This is so cool. So we learned that in Tahiti, they would have a parade where the emergency services would come past. So the firemen and the policemen and the paramedics and stuff. But here on Nuku Hiva, the island isn't big enough. If they just limited it to the emergency services, there would be like, I think they had said they had 6 policemen and 4 paramedics or something like that. And so the parade would be over really soon. And so here they just let any organization take part. So you've got like the rowing team, and then you've got like the kids football. It was super cute when the school came past. Yeah, I love this day. Even the Farmers Club are joining in now. They're so proud. It looks like they've only got one really short dance, so they just keep doing it over and over again, and everyone's like, yay, go for you guys. One of the highlights of the parade is the competition for the most beautiful horse. So all the kids have decorated their horses with palm fronds, and then they're riding them up and down the street past the judges. I love this.
So I black-knocked Brownie into letting me get an Italian ice cream. And now I'm thinking we need an ice cream maker on the boat, because this is just too good. Plus it cost us $5, so I think it's probably, I could pay off an ice cream maker in less than a week.
This has been such a fun morning so far. Everybody is in like super bright colors. Most people have got like flower crowns in their hair, and all the vehicles have been decorated in like palm fronds and flowers. Even at the beginning of the parade, there was a group of mums and babies, and they just like had decorated the kids' prams, or some of them were in shopping trolleys just covered with flowers. There's just like nature and bright colors and stuff everywhere.
So we've been meaning to show you this. It's a weird claim, but just up this hill behind me is supposed to be the tallest, no, it's a weird claim. It's like the tallest tiki statue in the Marquesas, but not the actual statue. They've cheated and put it on a hill or something like that. I don't really understand. But either way, we haven't actually been up to see it yet, and it looks from a distance to be pretty spectacular. So we figured we'd come and see it and show you guys.
And I am loving these like gate posts as you arrive. Looks really cool. Except when you look at the other one, you realize maybe the student had to go on this side.
It's impressionism. I won't forget it anytime soon. It's kind of horrifying. Do we need to blur statues to make this like YouTube friendly? It's a family channel.
To protect their modesty.
Well, they don't really seem to care about their modesty. It seems to be a tradition of the statues around here that they all have massive googly eyes and big foreheads, and they have other things.
On display.
Yeah, it seems to be a constant thing. What was it you worked out that the guys are quite obviously guys, and then the women have their hands on their tummy or something? Yeah,
I think they all have a big belly and then hands on it. Who knows what that means? This is cool. Somebody's even decorated this tiki for Heiva. They put like a little flower crown on it. Look at that. I want one.
So a weird bit of history for you. This is the part of the world where cannibalism was kind of prevalent, very prevalent. And I think it died down around the time the Americans turned up in the, I want to say 1800s, and laid claim to this place and said, yeah, we own this now. So this was part of America. It was an American fort. And this hill that we're on was actually a fort, lookout, ammunitions battery kind of thing. And yeah, then it slowly kind of disintegrated, I guess, and it got taken over for art installations. So there's loads of these little tiki statues around and little mosaic tables and things. And then obviously the grand prize.
So I read on a sign that if you climb up here and write a little note for eternity on a piece of paper, you can poke it into its tummy button. So I don't know if like this whole thing is hollow.
I think it is.
Feels a bit rude.
Are you poking its belly button, Brownie?
I was trying to see if it was full. It's not full. There's still room for a bit more eternity in there. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure what that's all about. I don't know if we've got any paper with us to make our own note, and I'm not sure I've got anything wise enough to say that's going to last for all eternity. But it's a cool idea. So the woman statue represents the traditions of this part of the world. And then the idea is that this guy stepping out is sort of stepping out from the traditions into the future. And apparently each statue took 6 months to build, and they each needed 6 people to build them. So quite impressive. I've got no idea how they got all the materials up onto the top of the hill to then build it. But yeah, apparently the highest statue in the Marquesas, not necessarily the tallest. I didn't know that was a claim. What have you found?
So this is a map.
It looks very much like an octopus.
Yes. So that's south, north, east, west, and then these stones are placed in amongst the octopus tentacles, arms, legs.
Arms?
Arms. Let's go with arms. And each one is an island, so it's presumably close enough to the right shape as well. So like we're in Nuku Hiva. Rapa Nui is 3,800 miles that way. Kilometers, sorry, that way. Tahiti's only 1,400. Hawaii is 3,700.
Cool.
So we're like right between Rapa Nui and Hawaii in terms of distance, I guess.
It's so strange here because it's like really sunny and hot and there's like blue skies above us up here on the hill. But as soon as you look down into the bay, it's like, oh yeah, all of the clouds get caught on this massive mountain. And so it's always grey and rainy here.
I think they're just coming across the entirety of the Pacific and just stopping here.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone kind of zipped home, got some lunch. Some people ate out in the restaurants and cafes that have been kind of popped up in these little huts around the place. And now everyone's just having their own little parties. So there's guys with sort of battery-powered Bluetooth speakers everywhere just playing music and everyone hanging out, having beer. And there's supposed to be a bunch of dancing classes or just like demonstrations happening in this big building here. So we're going to go see if we can find any. That was really fun. I mean, we didn't really know what to expect when we figured there was this whole thing happening, this Independence Day or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was celebrating. I'm just like, I'm glad that our timing worked out that we could be here because that was really cool. We were talking about like when we've been to different celebrations in different parts of the world, and now that's a really cool memory to have.
Yeah, and because Heiva, which is like this celebration that's been happening pretty much all this month, is a really big deal in the Marquesas in general. Actually, it's a really big deal in all of the French Polynesian islands.
Yeah.
But we were looking into it, and if you go to Tahiti, it's like a major arena, and there's camera crews and all sorts. Here, it's like a little village hall, and yet we just left during the raffle. And basically every name they shout out, everybody knows because the whole island is here.
It's just really cool to kind of get a little taste of it.
But I have to admit, I think I'm absolutely exhausted and it's probably time to go home.
It's been a long day.
We're out. See you guys.
We've heard that you cannot come to Nuku Hiva and only explore the coastline. The real beauty of this place is inland. And so today we're going to rent a car and go see what we can find.
Neither of us got very much sleep last night. I'm not sure if that's just because there's so much going on or maybe we were just excited. But there's a nice lady up here who rents out cars, and she said she might have one available for us today.
So where do you want to go?
We're down here right now, down by the port in town. So it's very simple. There's literally 3 roads on the island. There's the road out of town, one that goes to the airport, one that goes off to the North Bay.
Cool.
So we shouldn't get too lost.
So we made it up to like the top of the mountain and the split in the road. We've made our decision, we're going left.
And the road is better. It's got white painted lines and things.
Yeah, it's like big enough for 2 cars if we meet another one. It's quite wiggly so far, and I get nervous every time there's a tight corner in case someone's coming the other way. But yeah.
I'm just enjoying driving a car. It's like been quite a long time since we've driven anything.
I know, I feel like the last time we drove anything was like the go-kart that we got back in Guadeloupe, that bright orange
that
thing.
was fun.
That was amazing. They should have those here. I don't think it would manage the hills.
It's weird.
The landscape keeps changing, like we're now on a full-on pine forest.
Where did this come from? Like, proper pine forest, like Alps.
It's like every 10 minutes as we get higher and higher, and I know that I just said that we were on top of the world, but somehow we've still gone uphill. Like all the trees just change again. So like we had the palm trees right down by the seafront. And then there were like big flat green things.
Trees that grow horizontally. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one, horizontal trees. And now we're just in a like Nordic pine forest. It's amazing.
Proper. Are we still in the South Pacific?
It really doesn't feel like it.
And everywhere there's horses. Like they're all over the place and they're always wild. And I can't work out what they're here for.
I've decided this is actually just like the entire world compressed into one island. Because now here we have the plains of America. Not that I've ever been to any plains in America, but I've decided that's where we are. We're in the Wild West.
It's kind of that meets golf course.
It is a little bit. Maybe we're just home in Scotland.
Don't ram me. Don't ram me.
These roads are so wiggly.
This is insane. There's hairpin bends like every third turn. There's a cliff on our left and a cliff up on our right.
We've seen like landslides not happening in place, but the evidence of like go around a corner and there's just a massive pile of rocks on the road in front of us. And every so often we pass another car. So gotta keep your eyes peeled.
Where are we?
And now we've finally got high enough that the road has narrowed to a single track road. So if we meet someone else here, it's going to be a long way to reverse back around these corners. And now we're above the clouds. It's sunny again.
It's also getting colder. Just past 1,000 meters.
Wow. Oh my goodness, look, it's a baby one. That's the cutest thing in the world.
And now, Brownie wants us to get a baby horse.
That would be so cute. Do you think they do micro horses like micro pigs?
Actually, I think they do.
That is so cute.
But we're not having a Shetland pony on the boat.
Okay, so we've stopped at like what I think is the kind of key landmark of Nuku Hiva. On the map, it is called the Grand Canyon. I have never been to the Grand Canyon. No idea what it looks like. No idea how this one compares. But you have, so yeah. Are you excited for the Grand Canyon? Do you think it's going to be better or worse than the slightly more famous version?
See, now interestingly, the famous one is just all red dust, right? It's just rocks and dirt and deep.
Quite a lot of Americans watching our channel.
Well, I know, but have you been there? You'll admit there's not much greenery, and yeah, there's a little river at the bottom, but it's kind of colonized by tourism, so you can take helicopter rides through it and stuff. This one, we have to drive this ridiculous windy road, and there's only like 12 cars for rent on the whole island.
Yeah, true.
So it's not kind of colonized in the same way, and actually, it's quite pretty. It's got trees and things. It's definitely not as grand in scale terms.
But it's still pretty canyony. So we spotted a little trail along here. I've got no idea how far it goes or what the likelihood is of us getting lost. But of course, we're going to try it and see where it leads.
What could go wrong?
There's our motto. What do you see?
Mainly trees and greenery.
Maybe we just haven't gone far enough yet.
I think what we've discovered is this isn't actually a trail as much as this is a goat trail.
Off the beaten path. It's the best way.
Yes, let's call it that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to take us anywhere specific.
There's a little gap in the tree over there. I'm going to go and look at the view and enjoy it.
And was never seen again.
Whee!
Worth it?
It's magnificent. Everybody should come here.
That's Brownie speak for no, but she can't face the fact that she doesn't need to do that.
You just get a slightly different view of the canyon. It's great. Worth it.
We have a drone. This is a weird sight to see in the middle of the Pacific.
Sometimes when I'm editing videos, I get so involved in what I'm editing that I sit up and I go, wait, where are we in the world? Because I just sort of forget that we travel all the time. And I'm kind of having that moment right now. I'm like standing in the mountains surrounded by fir trees and holding a pine cone. I'm like, no, we're in the South Pacific. What's going on?
There's hammerhead sharks out there, for goodness sake.
I'm so confused.
It's better just pointing out something that we've both been kind of aware of since we got here. The Marquesas are quite mountainous, as you've seen. And unfortunately, that means that all the cloud that builds up across the Pacific Ocean seems to get caught on the hills here. And this actually shows it pretty clearly because we are kind of cloudy here. The sun's certainly behind a cloud. And you can see the line where the clouds stop and it's just blue skies and wonderful because there aren't mountains out there over the sea. So it's not great for our solar power, and that's all we live off. So we're going to have to think fairly soon about making a move to probably the Tuamotus, which are super flat and I'm guessing means don't have a lot of cloud, and if they do, the clouds just keep going, which would be perfect.
We've driven over to the other side, the east side of the island now, and the landscape just keeps changing. But we have stumbled across some kind of archaeological site. So yeah, there's like all of these old ruins, and it's really cool.
What was it you were saying? So we've been to like the party stuff for Heiva down in the main town, and apparently this is like where that happened in ancient times.
Yeah, I think this settlement was like a cultural center. So all of the surrounding tribes would come here when they were celebrating stuff, even sometimes from other islands. This would be like, yeah, party town where they would all come and stay and, yeah, have huge festivals and stuff. I would come here for a festival.
Too right. There's like
really cool location.
tiki statues everywhere. There's some huts and stuff to check out.
These buildings are absolutely beautiful. I've got no idea what they're used for, or maybe there's like some dark and mysterious past, like this is where they sacrifice the virgins every year at midsummer or something.
I mean, I definitely get the impression that they would have eaten them. So if you think, sacrifice or barbecue, genuinely, this is where, like, if you imagine like films back in the 1950s would talk about cannibalistic islands of the South Pacific, that is here. This is what they did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all that long ago that they got talked out of it. I guess chickens took over. But yeah, so it has a history, which I don't know if that was specific to this particular part, but it's possible.
It feels it. Maybe we won't hang around. I mean, also we're getting eaten alive by bugs, so we're both like, every time we stop to stand still, we're sort of jiggling around like this, trying to get them off us.
It's one thing I still find absolutely amazing as we keep traveling around the place, is the number of places you go where history is just like left out in the open. We come from Scotland, where that's pretty common. However, even then, there's usually a lot of signposts and things to explain what you're looking at. And somebody's hanging around to say, please don't climb on the monument or whatever. Which is all good. But everywhere we've been recently, it's like, as Brownie said, you just stop the car and go, oh wait, there's some ancient Mayan temple or something. It's really strange how it's just left there. And it's cool because it means everyone has kind of this inbuilt respect for it. No one's out to break anything. Everyone's being a little bit careful where they put their feet or where they walk. And you can see that the ruins are there for everyone to enjoy. It's really cool.
I was just admiring the build quality of these houses. I was like, oh, that's cool. They don't have a wall, they just have a roof, and on the side of the prevailing wind, presumably it comes all the way to the floor. And then I noticed the way they've built this thatched roof is by running these palm leaves into a plastic gutter, which is probably not original. And now I'm doubting myself, and I think this might all be plastic to look like fake palm leaves as well. Do you think this is the sacred heart of the community? It's an absolutely massive tree. It's like 5 trees have all joined together in one root.
What's the tree in Avatar called again?
I'm not very good at my film knowledge. I feel like it could be quite symbolic for sort of tribal unity, though.
What's the deal with these?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like a well, but then there's a little one, so maybe this one's for children.
Swimming pool?
Drinking water, bathroom.
Right.
I don't think I would have survived in the olden days.
We finally figured out what this actually is. We found a big sign that, told us history and stuff, and it's starting to make more sense. What we've basically stumbled across here is an ancient archaeological holiday camp. People from tribes from here, this island, and all the islands nearby would come here to all gather, get to meet each other, probably trade and stuff, and just have like a summer holiday, basically. So it means that we can now do like an episode of Through the Keyhole, and Brendan's going to explain to you how the other half live.
If you're interested in this property, quite often you would have like a wooden ladder here at the entrance to your front door. Quite rickety. I did try it on another one, but it does technically work. Then you come up to this very spacious veranda, which is lovely for your parties, summer evenings, sitting out in the warm air and all of the mosquitoes. Some of them had like big pits here, which we found out were actually barbecues. You would just cook in the middle and sit all around, which makes sense of these things.
Yeah, this is the condiment location. It doesn't say that in history stuff, but it could be.
I think that's applying a lot of fact and understanding to the situation to get to the answer. So I think that's definitely true.
Can't be wrong.
And then, yeah, underneath the cover, I'm not quite sure what this part is for. But
Socialising and sitting.
this is your bed. So apparently your head would go at this end on the lovely boulder pillow, and your feet would go up on here, and you would all lie down one next to each other all the way along here. So not the most comfortable. It's an acquired taste, perhaps.
There might need to be some additional palm leaves and sand and things.
Maybe. We could do that. Do you want to stay here tonight?
I will see you tomorrow.
Aww.
And Brownie mentioned that there are sometimes fire pits on this part, this veranda area, but we found out for some reason this one, there isn't a fire pit here, but there is one just over this little drop of death. So this would have been the barbecue. They would actually get like palm fronds, and they would bend them and weave them into a basket and then put their food in there and smoke it from underneath, I guess.
Maybe this is like the chief's house.
Somebody important.
So he doesn't have to cook his own food. He can have the space for socialising, and he can have people to do that for him
Click
over
his
there.
fingers and the food turns up.
Exactly.
Like I live.
Yes, absolutely.
Not tonight, I won't. We just got to look at quite a spectacular view, and I enjoyed it, but I'm not entirely sure it worked out so well for you.
It's so windy.
So windy and so cold.
I am really cold now.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a squall coming in, so maybe we're about to get rained on, but yeah, that was chilly standing on top of the mountain. We're very much in the clouds. We're about to be.
We're very much about to be in the clouds, yeah. You could see this, what we think was a squall, but it might just be a cloud coming across the valley towards us, and we're up on a cliff, so it's just going to hit the cliff and come straight up and hit us. And yeah, we can tell. The car is wiggling quite a lot.
Can you see those clouds going over the top of the mountain, though?
Whoa, look where that is. What's going on?
The rain has started, and now we're complaining that we're too cold, and we just saw...
It's not good news. It does not bode well, because we plan to go to the UK fairly soon, to Scotland fairly soon, and I think 26 degrees would be like a really hot summer in Scotland.
It would,
Celsius.
yeah. We're not going to cope in the slightest.
And
It's
that's 25. Quick,
It's
get
chilly.
outside and sample it to see if you can cope.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to get blown away.
Just don't fall down the cliff.
I know, right? Okay, I'm going to go and try and show you how fast these clouds are moving, because they're just going right past the top of the mountain here.
Right past the front of the car. The car is like shaking in the wind.
Don't think I need these.
It's getting cold. Close the door.
I can't! Oh my goodness. Well, this is the view that we were looking at. And as long as I don't get blown off the top here, I can show you, because it's pretty cool. So this is the road that we're about to drive. Like, it's just 100 hairpin bends in a row around these mountains. If the wind disappears, we'll throw the phone up. I think that's really cool. Thanks for watching. Next week, we say goodbye to the Marquesas Islands and set sail for the atolls of the Tuamotus. It will be a challenge with only one engine, but as always, we'll give it a go. Thank you to everyone who has joined us on Patreon this week. We are blown away by all the support you guys are sending our way. Some people have asked us where they can send donations for our engine fund, so we've set up a page on our website with all the details on how you can support us at red-seas.com/support.